Welcome back to a new lecture. In this lecture I'm going to discuss the principle of desire and why your copy needs to harness the principle of desire in other people in order to write truly top-notch copy. The kind of copy that you need to write if you're going to land those top-paying contracts. So let's go over it step by step. Number one. This is all from, by the way, if you guys want to read an excellent book, this will be on the recommended reading list for sure. An excellent book on the art of copywriting is called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. So if you can't find a copy of that book, they're quite hard to find. Send me a message in the discussion section and I think I have a copy lying around. So, choose the most powerful desire that can be possibly applied to your product. What is the desire in your product? What are you selling? For example, if you are selling lawnmowers, if you have let's use a rather colorful example, you're working for a lawnmower company, writing blog articles. What is the desire that the client's target market would have? It would not be the actual features of the lawnmower. The most fuel efficient lawnmower on the market. No, that's not a desire, that's a feature. A desire would be seeing a nice, trim, green lawn. Green as a putting green on a golf course. That's the desire. Now, once you've identified what that desire is, you acknowledge the desire, reinforce it, and offer the means to satisfy it in a single statement in the headline of your ad or your blog or your... This is advertising. I think technical writing we can leave to one side. White papers, the more instructional material. Let's put that to one side and focus just on copywriting, pure and simple, blog articles, product reviews, etc. So, you need to somehow reinforce in a single statement that desire in your headline. So, for example, with our lawnmower, your lawn will be as green as the golf course where you go into putt for a birdie. I don't know. I would use the language of the target market. I don't really play golf, but if I had a client of this nature, I would definitely learn about lawnmowers. What is related to lawnmowers? Okay, flat, green, beautiful looking lawn. What other areas are there that beautiful trim lawn? Golf courses. Where else? Fancy houses, mansions, for example. I would consider all of these things as I write and try to identify the desire. And the next thing we need to do is sharpen the image that the person forms in their mind of how your product satisfies that desire. So first you acknowledge the desire. Then you link the desire to your product. In this particular book, they call it product performance, but you can call it anything you really want. How your product does, how it satisfies the desire that you introduced in your headline, hopefully. So, very interesting discussion on the product. Now let's take it a step further and look at the longing for identification in people themselves. Now, this longing for identification, it rises to the prominence as a buying motive marks the great revolution in merchandising of our time. In its utilization in copywriting as an adjunct to desire building, constitutes our second mechanism of persuasion, that of building the proper identification into your product. So, what is the process of identification? Quite simply, it is first of all the desire of your prospect to act out certain roles in his life. Now think about that for a moment. Take your target market. What role? Now notice that this is a step beyond, or a step deeper than simply wanting a flat lawn that looks like a beautiful golf course. That person is cutting his lawn in such a way to fulfill a certain role. And you need to find out what that role is to really understand your audience. So, let's use the lawnmower example. He is very concerned about the appearance of his lawn. Now you can get a fairly good understanding of the character of that kind of a person if you add up enough of those behavioral traits. So it is, to continue reading, it is the desire of your prospect to define himself to the world around him, to express the qualities within himself that he values and the positions he has attained. Now, these, and here we have an example here, a bit above where I circled, and you can see also that the same lawn mowing example would be a form of social proof. There is that element as well. He is concerned about the opinions of others, this man who wants to buy our lawnmower. Call them what you will: goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, envies, admirations, fantasies, or objectives. These subtle, symbolic, never openly spoken projections of our own self-images are immensely powerful sales forces. Your task is to put them directly behind your product. So, again, using this lawnmower example, how can we do this? A very simple way to do it will be along these following lines. How would you like to have the best looking lawn on the block? Something like that. Not the best example. I would refine that if I was writing a blog article for, again, a company that sells lawnmowers. I would find the perfect wording, but as an example, I think you understand what I mean. You want to put, and first you have to identify what these goals, dreams, ambitions might be, and then weave it into your headline and into the body of your copy. And again, we have this concept of laying these little hints, these little hooks as they are referred to here. Now, when you are writing to a public that shares a private want, they may share subsections of that want. So that want to have the perfect green lawn that looks absolutely amazing. Therefore, what are the hooks, in other words, the promises, that you are going to introduce into your copy? This is something to think about before writing. Again, these hooks could be having the best looking lawn on the block, the neighbors looking upon your beautiful green lawn with envy. That feeling of comfort that some people have when everything is nice and trim, when all of the papers are aligned perfectly on the desk and everything is in its proper place. There are people who think like this, and it's very, very important that you understand that they think like this, and that you, now depending on your target audience, you would have to do your research first, but if they do think like this, that you would structure your copy in such a way that speaks to these desires, and you lay these hooks down, for example. Now, to end this video, I'd like to read a few very powerful quotations from this book, Breakthrough Advertising. Let's get right down to the heart of the matter. The power, the force, the overwhelming urge to own that makes advertising work comes from the market itself and not from the copy. Copy cannot create desire for a product. Remember, you're not trying to sell them that the lawnmower is more fuel efficient. You're not creating desire. You are harnessing the desire existing in the market. Let's continue reading. Copy can only take the hopes, dreams, fears, and desires that already exist in the hearts of millions of people and focus those already existing desires onto a particular product. This is the copywriter's task, not to create this mass desire, but to channel and direct it. So, with these points in mind, I'd like to leave you with a homework assignment, something that will build your own capacity to A, identify desire, and B, channel that desire in your actual copy. What I'd like you to do is to pick a product, any product at all. It can be a lawnmower. If you want to take that example, it can be a Concorde jet sold on the black market. It can be absolutely anything you want. And what I'd like you to do is to A, identify one major desire in that product that you've selected, or a service. And then B, I want you to write a headline that channels that desire, that speaks to that desire. Now remember, you're not trying to create a desire. You wouldn't write, for example, our Concorde jet is twice, to use the fuel efficiency example, our Concorde jet is twice as fuel efficient. Our twin turbine engines have 18 cylinders each. I have no idea if that's true. I know nothing about cars or planes, or engines for that matter. But I think you get the point. Now, then you write a headline that channels the existing desire. And write a headline. Post that. Post what the major desire you are focusing on your headline is, and then write an actual short headline trying to sell the product to all of us. And we can all give our feedback. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video very helpful and instructive. It was a bit more theory-based, but it's important to get these foundational concepts set and identified from the very beginning, because when you begin with this foundation that you channel desire, you don't create desire, your ability to write copy that truly speaks to the hearts of millions of people, your ability to write that copy will be much more heightened and powerful and focused. So thank you once again. If you have any feedback at all about my videos, if you would like me to change something small that you feel would make the videos better, please let me know. I'm always open and I encourage feedback. So thank you again, and I'll see you next time.